Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another session of Ask Zak with myself, Zak, and my trusted new colleague, Renette. Renette is one of our technical advisors, and of course, I know you love your ruminants, but there is not another animal we can't ask you a question about. Now, Renette, when you're out about in the field, where can people meet you? Which areas are you in so that people can get in contact?
Hello guys, my name is Renette. I'm your technical advisor for the Highveld region of Mpumalanga. So where you can be able to get me is at the Leidenburg area, Witbank, Middelburg, Ermelo, Carolina, Belfast and Trichardt. And if you need any questions, feel free to contact me. All our depots have my telephone numbers with them. And if you feel you want to phone me all the way from Limpopo or Gauteng, you're more than welcome to. I will easily assist you and put you in contact with one of our TAs that's in that area.
Now let's kick off tonight, and tonight we're talking about disease prevention on our furry friends, our dogs and our cats. Now, very important, you do get scheduled drugs that are controlled by the vets. The products that we're going to talk about tonight is readily available at your nearest Alzud one-stop shop. Now, first of all, thing that's going to bother your animals a lot this summer is, of course, ticks, and they can cause biliary. Fleas. Fleas, of course, is just a major source of irritation, and if you don't control it, can move into your house and cause irritation on yourself. And then, of course, mange and flies are things that influence our pets negatively during these summer months. Now, when we kick it off, Renette, when we talk about our pets, when it comes down to ticks and fleas, how can we treat them? What options are available for people?
Sure, Zak, there's so a lot of options you can look at. We have our tablets, namely our Prevectos and NexGuards, also available at our Alzud depot branches. It covers for about 3 months your dog to prevent any ticks and flea infestation, and that is really nice. But the other thing is it's a little bit too expensive for our up-and-coming farmers that wants to farm with dogs. So that one is a bit expensive option. The other options we have is our porons, like our front lines, that you can, it's a dip that you can, or you pour it on actually as the name says. So you must always just remember to apply it as near as possible on the hairline of the dog and your cats as well, because then the absorption is a lot more better for your animals. But the con of that one is the if your dogs are like my dogs, swimming like Olympic swimmers, it won't work, because it can clean themselves and then you won't have any effect of it. So yeah, that's not actually the tip for those ones who are really active. And then we have our dips and our powders as well. Those two normally work the same. They don't have any residual effect, but it will also help to prevent the fleas and the ticks to stay away of our furry kids at home.
Just to add on to what Renette says, when it comes down to our cats, be very careful. Just because it's a dip doesn't mean it is safe to use on a cat. So you're going to have to read your instructions of the product that you decide to use very carefully, and make sure it is registered for cats. Cats are more sensitive and you can do serious harm if you use the incorrect product. But if you've got the right product, let's say you use Frontline for cats, or maybe the Revolution for cats, just an important tip there. Cat is like a horse, they like to clean themselves, lick themselves. So, and we have to remember these dips are still poisons, and it's not made to be consumed orally. So when it comes to applying a poron onto your cat, we do not cover the whole back. We put it on the base of the neck, where the cat can't lick itself. So be very make sure your animal of your cat can't lick it and get it ingested in that way. Of course, very important when it comes down to our dips is you need to use the right dip for the right reason. Renette, very important what you mentioned is your time periods that you need to be aware of, and of course residual times plays a great role when it comes down to the ease of use of product. Now, when we talk about mange, something that we mentioned earlier, mange is a tough parasite to get rid of. It's basically a microscopic little insect that burrows underneath the skin, and the hair starts falling out. We see that in a lot of the rural areas, especially amongst our feral dogs, but of course that mite can move over to your pets, your dogs. Now, as I said, it burrows underneath the skin, so it's hard to treat. There is only one way that we can help you with the treatment, and that's with a dip that you mix with water. We call it Ectodex. Now make sure when you buy Ectodex, you dilute it in the correct way. It's a little bit stronger than your normal tick and flea dip when you mix it, and just follow your instructions carefully. But what's important there is the duration and how often you do it. We want to do it at least once a week for 3 weeks. That should sort out the mange. But if the problem persists, I would always advise you go visit your nearest vet, as they do have other medication to help combat your mange that you might experience amongst your animals. So be very aware of it and just be careful. But now when we're done with our mange, of course another pest, and it's not just our dogs and our cats that struggle, we struggle with it, our cows, everything struggles with it. That's farm life, and that's flies. Now Renette, how do we control flies when it comes down to our pets?
Well, fly prevention can be done in 2 ways, possible ways. That will be our Poron. Export is one of our products also we sell at our branches. It helps to keep your animal clean for about 2 weeks, and then you can repeatedly administer that export. And then the other products that you can use is our fly sprays, shoe fly of Chiron, buzz off. All those products is well equipped in our depots, so feel free to go and buy yourself some of those products.
Now, as usual, that is quite a lot of information we try to share in a very short time. But as mentioned earlier, Renette and the technical team are out there to assist you as farmers. Now, one of the first steps that we do is, of course, our Farmers' Days. Renette, where are you guys busy this week, coming week, this Thursday?
Zak, this week we are in Nelspruit area. Myself will be representing the course there, the information day on broilers and layers. So please guys, feel free and come and join me there. And then at our Pretoria North branch, we also have a broiler and layer information day, which you will be able to meet Uncle Saki. He's part of the furniture of Alzu, very nice oom. And then Sean Maibelu as well, our other colleague, who will be assisting you there on your broilers and layers.
And remember, these days are free of charge. The only thing that you need to do is book your seat so that we can prepare accordingly. So pick up your phone those depots, get your seat booked, and of course be ready. There's a lot of information we give. We talk about everything that you might need or encounter on your poultry farm, and that's going to be of crucial value to you as a farmer. But that's a mouthful, and from my side, thank you. That was a good evening, and see you next week, same time, same place. Renette, so thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Thank you, Zak. It's a really good pleasure, and we hope to see you again next week, Tuesday.